Okay, listen. If you're gonna make a fucking vampire movie, all right, an Irish vampire movie that literally wipes away everything that Bram Stoker said to us is true about vampires in his novel, you're just gonna wipe that all away in the first 10 minutes of your movie and have your own fucking rules as to how a vampire operates, then, like, Jesus Christ, at least have the fucking vampire in the goddamn movie. Hey guys, welcome to Happywax TV, and tonight we are talking about the newly released Shudder original, Boys from County Hell. All right, I did not watch the trailer for this movie. In fact, I knew nothing about it, okay? I had a bunch of you ask me if I was going to talk about it, and I did see the poster, and I thought to myself, what a fucking killer poster, man. Like, I need to see whatever the hell this creature is on this poster. I'm assuming it's a vampire, but I don't know. Who knows what it is, but I need to see this. And then, again, a bunch of you asked me if I could talk about it, and I was like, yep, you goddamn right I'm going to watch it and talk about it. When was the last time I did a rant video? Hang on a second here. Boom, 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 boom. A month ago. It's been over a month since I did a rant video, and you're probably thinking I'm going to rant about this movie after the opening sequence there. Well, sadly, I'm not going to, because honestly, I kind of liked this movie. I did. I just wanted more. I wanted more of this Abertac vampire. He was so fucking cool looking, but we don't see him till like the last 10 minutes of the movie. I'm like, why? I get it. You know, they were probably thinking, you know, less is more. No. In some cases, it doesn't fucking work. And for me, I wanted more of this fucking Abertac fucking vampire. He was awesome looking. It's like eating a chocolate bar. You know, you sit down and you open a Kit Kat and it's got those 4 delicious sticks of wafer covered chocolate. And you eat the first stick, second stick, you know, you get into the third one and you're kind of like, oh, it's kind of coming to an end. And then you break the 4th stick into a half and you just savor that last little morsel. Because you want more. You don't want it to end. That's this vampire, man. He was fucking killer looking. He looked like Victor from Underworld. When Celine, you know, when Celine wakes him up out of his, I don't know what it is, like 1,000-year sleep or whatever, and he's all sucked in because he hasn't had blood in ever. Well, that's what this Abertac vampire looked like, only worse. But he was fucking awesome. And he had this whole slew of powers. You know, like they literally, in the first 10 minutes of this movie, they literally do away with everything that we've come to learn, you know, about vampires through Bram Stoker, sorry. Everything. You can't kill this guy. Sunlight does nothing. Crosses, nothing. Pull his heart out, nothing. Nothing kills these fucking vampires. Cut their heads off, they can come back to life. Nothing. So the majority of the movie is them trying to figure out how to kill these vampires, because there are vampires in this movie. I mean, there are, but even when they attack people, the people they attack don't turn into vampires from being bitten by these vampires. We learn in the 3rd act that the stones that can kill these vampires, because the only way you can defeat these things, more or less, is if you bury them, or bury this head vampire anyways, and put this certain type of rock on them, like these stones, and that's it. And he can't get through this certain pile of stones, which is when our movie opens up. But these stones are what turns the people into vampires, because when they get scratched or cut by these stones, then they turn into vampires. So they've pretty much done away with everything we know, you know, about Dracula and any other vampire movie that you've seen, which is fine. And it's cool that they did that, because it totally changes the vampire lore. It puts it on its head. It's all new. But then we don't see this motherfucker till the last 10 minutes. And I was like, I want more. So I don't say this very often, but I do hope they make a sequel to this movie. And I hope it involves more of this Abertac fucking vampire, because he's so cool looking. Like, and it's great too, because he doesn't even need to be near you to draw the blood out of you. Like the opening scene of this movie is these two old people sitting in their classic old person's living room where they each have their own easy chair and they're sitting there watching TV. And then the woman, her nose just starts funneling out blood. And then it pans over to the husband, the old husband, and his eyes funneling out blood. And we don't learn this till later on, but like this vampire doesn't even need to bite you. He just needs to be near you and he can literally draw the blood from you. It's fantastic. It's great. And I love how they changed everything up. I just wanted more of it. And I wanted to see more of this Abertac vampire, not just the last 10 minutes. So, but yeah, did I even give you the fucking synopsis? A crew of hardy road workers led by bickering father and son must survive the night when they accidentally awaken an ancient Irish vampire. Okay, well, Eugene and Francis. Francis is the father. He owns a construction company. And they're making this I think it's called a throughway or something like that, like a highway extension that's coming through this meadow. And in the middle of this meadow is this big pyramid thing of stone. And they have all the legends and the lore of what's in there, right? Some people believe it, other people think it's just bullshit. And yeah, so they tear it down. And that's when all the shit happens because they release this fucking vampire. And again, we learned this early on, that it's not the vampire that turns people into vampires. It's being cut from these stones that turn people into vampires. And then they serve this Abertac guy and all hell breaks loose. And Eugene, his dad Francis, his girlfriend Claire, and then SP, who's the big burly guy with the beard, who's kind of the comic relief in this movie. There are comedic moments in this movie, and for the most part, they're funny. I will say this, about the halfway point of this movie, I gave up and I put the subtitles on because with the Irish accents, there's a lot of conversation and I had no idea what they were saying. So I was like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So I threw on the subtitles, so I was reading the subtitles. At least I could make out what they were saying, and it did help. But when they get talking back and forth really fast, I was like, I don't know what he just said. I have no idea. So, but I don't know. I did like this movie. I really did. But it's like, like once this vampire wakes up, the rest of the movie is pretty much, until they battle him at the end, is more or less them, trying to survive these other couple of vampires, but then also trying to figure out how to defeat these vampires, which is cool because none of the stuff, like I said, that we've been taught or we've learned over the years through countless vampires, none of it works. They try it all and none of it works. So then they, have to figure something else out. It's a really good story. It really is. So there are a few parts in this movie where it does kind of drag, unfortunately. So, but for the most part, it's definitely watchable. Probably going to be a one-time watch, but I honestly, I think you'll really enjoy this movie when you do sit down to watch it. So I am highly going to recommend this movie. I think I gave it a rating already, but if I didn't, I'm going to give it a 6. I did enjoy this. Again, I had a few problems with it, but the one big problem I had with it was I wanted more of this Abertac vampire. I just wanted to see him more. I wanted him on screen more. I know that's me being greedy and selfish, but I just wanted more of them, you know what I mean? So, but other than that, definitely watchable, guys. It's on Shudder now. It's called The Boys from County Hell. If you've seen it, let me know what you think of this flick, and if you haven't, I highly recommend it. 6 out of 10. Go and watch it. Definitely get the Shudder platform if you haven't. It's $5 a month. I mean, you can't beat that. You're literally watching all these awesome horror movies, for the most part, and a ton of classic horror movies for literally cents, like pennies. It's awesome. So anyways, if you've seen it, let me know. If you haven't, go watch it, come back and let me know what you thought, guys. And yeah, I just wanted more of that motherfucker. But anyways, guys, until next time, stay scared.